Welcome back to the Martinliedtke channel. Glad you could be here today, guys. Thanks for being here. Much love to you all, and I hope you enjoy. Today's post will be really interesting. I hope you learn something that you never knew before. Today, we're going to talk about the famous, iconic Eiffel Tower. We're going to talk about free energy, wireless and energy or wireless electricity, which I've proposed was used in the golden age of Tartaria, and that's what partly what antiquitech was up to. And we're going to talk about free energy breakthrough, apparently, and Nikola Tesla, all in this post. Super interesting picture here. As you can see, the famous Eiffel Tower in Paris. And if you look, you can see an air balloon there. And underneath the Eiffel Tower, a bunker. And it says in this caption in French, for the utilization of the telegraph or telegraphy. So they have a telegraph station and a bunker underneath, but there's some things that you may not know about Gustaf Eiffel and his iconic tower that you're going to find out here today, only on martinliedtke Flat Earth British channel. So buckle up, and I hope you enjoy. I find it incredible myself that in the year of 1888 to 1889, the documentation and photographic record of the building of the Eiffel Tower is second to none. In fact, in the modern day, you'd be happy to find anything that is documented as well as the building of something, all that time ago. It's just crazy. You do see some distortion in the people with the development process, where people are moving around. They pick up the movement and the exposure problem, which doesn't seem to exist years earlier. So yeah, up it goes into the air. Okay. So if you like, in comparison, compare to the Palace of Westminster in London after its fire and its rebuilding, I mean, you don't find like one photograph, but this, right the way from the footings up, okay, you get photographs. So every single bit of this building, apparently. Now, what I want to do is I want to compare the stones in these caissons. In these footings, these are the first footings. I don't know what they're building on, bedrock or whatever, for the large concrete structures that will be pinned into them. Now, note the stonework, okay? Now, I'm not sure, it hasn't been pointed back, but you can appreciate that this is higgledy-piggledy stonework, even on here, and I was a stonemason, I can tell you, this is rough as 10 bears work, okay? But then when you get to the finished caissons, there's all this really, really beautiful stonework that is not in the initial photograph. That is really high quality stonework, not higgledy-piggledy, but uniformic with perps, etc. So just compared, it's pretty rough. So is it the same place? Is it the same photographs? Now, there's a large area around here which is being completely emptied in the center of Paris for apparently the Universal Exposition. Can you see? In the distance, it's just empty spaces. What was there before? Now, we've long since debated that the expositions are older worlds and they're before a lot of them. But here, in front of our very eyes, we have a photographic journal of these very large caissons and these stone wall structures underneath for the foundations of the Eiffel Tower. So is it safe to presume that these are not faked and they did put the Eiffel Tower up when they said? Okay. Gustaf Eiffel, okay, he built, and he's famous for building, this iconic monument, if you want to call it that, and the Statue of Liberty, which was gifted by the French to, as you know, America, where she stands today. But there was two Statue of Liberties. The other one was in smaller and was in Paris, almost like there was two Eiffel Towers. One thing I can't get my head around is the size of the people. I've seen people in the modern day jumping off of the lower level on a parachute. And there's like a 6-lane highway that goes underneath it. But in some photographs, there's like, literally looks like somebody might bang their head on the lower level. Like crazy different sizes. So look outside as well. It's just so rough. What was there before? It's just in the center of Paris, and there's just like wasteland, like Armageddon has happened. Just crazy. So yeah, Gustaf Eiffel, you may or may not know, he used his iconic tower, okay, to start up a laboratory. He had a lab underneath for scientific innovation in secret military bunker, okay, with secret works that he was doing. No shit. Under there's an entrance apparently under the south pillar. Now I'm not sure which is the south pillar, and then pictures just now where they left enough space definitely for bunkers, etc. So yeah, it was in early innovation apparently in wireless or free energy, if you like, technology. But I'd love to see a photograph of this building in the background of the, I can never pronounce it. I'm terrible at pronouncing French words. Trakranon, building being actually built, because this is the the best we get is for the Eiffel Tower. This is what I mean, okay, guys. The people here, okay, to the first gantry here, okay, the height, yeah, it's like literally 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 dozen people tall, okay, and then there's the first gantry. Okay, there looks like really small. And look, how are they bringing all this steel here with just a horse and a cart? There's no railway line that's bringing the steel here, by the way. And there's no cars, as you know, because they haven't been invented yet, or lorries. Everything is on horse and carty. These little horse and carties. What is that in there? Excuse me. So yes, I find it suspicious. I don't know what that is. Suspicious personally, that it should be so well documented. So yeah, we do know that Gustaf Eiffel had a laboratory. We do know that he was interested in the field of, excuse me, wireless electricity. So yeah, they will tell you in the official narrative. This is the story anyway, is that they never had it, but Tesla may have had free energy. Okay. But they couldn't have anywhere to put the meters in the Western house, and JP Morgan and Edison narrative. So what happened is Tesla's inventions, as you know, were not really accepted in the same way as Edison's. He was their golden child. And eventually Tesla apparently fell into obscurity. But they say that he knew about free energy that he brought back with Serbia, because everyone in Tartaria was using free energy. So there have been some changes and a bit of spookiness going on with this. Now, on this first gantry where the restaurant is, there you'll see some decoration shortly. It's not there in the modern day because they say there was a fire. Weird thing about this, now I'm going to tell you now, oh, there's some buildings being built for the exposition there and there, is that I'm AI sacked. Okay, I'm never ever going to bother with it again. It's just, I think that the AI should be banned right now before it's too late. That's my God's honest truth. This just got to go. This is just so bad for us, for everyone. It's got to go. So I asked AI, oh, could you tell me about the fire on the Eiffel Tower? And it answered with, oh, no, there hasn't been any fires on the Eiffel Tower. So I come back with, well, what about the photographs I've got of the restaurant fire? And it come back with, oh, I see what you're saying here. Oh, I thought you meant the elevator fire. I was like, what? The elevator fire that you never fucking mentioned? No, the restaurant fire that took all of this technology off the first level, which I will show you shortly. These pretty little things here. Okay, I'll see them filled in a minute. These bits here, little bits of antiquitech. You may see them here. They're gone in the modern day because apparently there was a fire that AI knows nothing about. It does now, because I told it. And there was an elevator fire as well, apparently. So there's some elevator in here. I really haven't seen that. but the spiral staircase you may know from Grace Jones and James Bond's gun battle on the Eiffel Tower. Also, Inspector Clouseau, he's had a little go up and down in other films as well. So I couldn't tell you if either or of them are in fact Eiffel. So there's a connection with Isambard Kingdom Brunel's father, who was a Frenchman who worked closely alongside Gustaf Eiffel, who's a Frenchman. So there's a big connection between the psyop of all of the buildings that were built in Britain and the psyop of the buildings that were built in France. They're connected stories. So yeah, 1888. So they got each month the developments. So like literally time lapse photography from some massively tall building because we're at a high elevation there. So well, very, very well documented is the building. So there you are, November. And you get to 1889 when I think it was completed in March. Okay, so look at this. There's the bits I'm talking about. So yeah, these here, all gone in the modern days, we'll see. But look at that for a beautiful photograph. That is absolutely fantastic, fantastic picture. You can see that this is 1880s, guys, and there is no exposure problems with movement of people. That notion is very selective, about as selective as gravity. Just doesn't work. So yeah, the illustration I showed you was concerning wireless telegraphy, okay, which is wireless telephones, which is really super interesting, which is what the tower was possibly doing in the first place. Now, the tower, as I said, was completed in March 1889 for the Universal Exposition, but initially the tower brought up a lot of controversy and was considered ugly and not really needed in the Paris skyline. So what happened? Well, they considered it for demolition in 1903. I've only been there like 25 years or so. So it was saved because of its scientific utility, such as radio transmissions that kept this thing going. It was used in World War One and World War Two for radio transmissions, but I feel a damn sight a lot more. So you can see all the exposition there. Good portion of these buildings, them there, no longer exist, but the tower survived. So yeah, let's have a little squiggly through some pictures of the tower. Some things going on with this. So this is the first one that gets me, is this one here. The size under here, lovely palm tree, looks like it's been there a while. Statue, so no road going under, no road. It's the height for this thing here. I've seen this, guy who parachutes off of cliffs and stuff and wears one of those wingsuits jumping off this, and then he glides down on a parachute. Try that there. By the time you pull your cord, you'd be splatted on the grass. It really does look like there's different sizes, because if you look at the photograph in the one below, the modern day Eiffel Tower, all of the decoration is gone. Everything apparently is attributed to that fire that AI knows nothing about. The buildings in the background are completely gone. And now there's this big, massive bit of grass. How many lanes of traffic there going? That's just beside it. But yeah, there's a road in there as well. And these long, broad roads that are either side, I guess, in their bushes. So this thing is very deceptive. I can't really get my head around the size of what it is, to be honest with you. So let's have a little look through these. Excuse me. So yeah, look at the size of it here when you got these, these little towns that they build to show you where everyone lives for their indoctrination program. Yeah, all the buildings got antiquitech on top. Wonder why they took the time to do that if they were just temporary measures. And that looks like an old wall, doesn't it? So yeah, they're protecting themselves from the sun. Everyone's dressed in black, same as in Britain and everywhere else. This looks smaller than I sort of think it is to be. But I don't know what's going on there. Alternative timelines and all of this here. There's a sort of thing coming out of it here as well, and one there. are all gone. As you can see, they've taken away a lot of the technology of this thing. So yeah, that's underneath. So I wasn't even wrong. There's like, literally, well, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, like 8 lanes of traffic could go down there, no problem. You've got all these people. It just seems a damn sight bigger in the modern day than it looks like in antiquity there, doesn't it? Almost as if that, and then decorations are gone. So what if all that was a lie and this tower here is a completely different tower? They had the Blackpool Tower, which looks like a smaller version of it. They had the Wirral Tower, which is another version of this as well. So somebody colorized this and is on for many. Look, there's a woman there. She's laying there. I know it's not a woman, it's a statue, but it looks like a woman. Absolutely beautiful. And there's all that technology up there. Don't know what that is. Looks like cameras. It looks completely different here, this bit. It's really weird. Something's off. I really do feel that that this is two different buildings. Who knows? Excuse me. Let me just scroll through these a sec. Okay, let's just have a look at the area. There was a really large area here and these are all parks where all like druggies and scammers all hang out in the modern day. And as you probably know, it's all gone to shit in a handbag like everywhere else. So, but the balloons, I think, would have definitely docked on there in the age of Tartaria. I think. So yeah, there's that gantry. We got a close up. You can see some like Phoenician decoration. There's some wording as well, which I'm not really sure what that is. Bressy. And then toroidals that I've witnessed many times with the Phoenician decoration. But yeah, it's completely different. I'm not sure how steel can actually burn, but that happens with the Crystal Palace anyway, didn't it? So who even knows? Yeah, definitely a good landing platform. So there's Hitler. He went to see it and he just sucked his lips and went, it's not much good, is it? Bit shit now. And this is in the war. You can see that this thing's being cordoned off. You've got military guards and this array here, which looks like essentially a Faraday cage, which is protecting electromagnetic technology, probably, which was kept secret and it's really by this leg as well. So probably connected to that bunker. This thing is doing a damn sight more than most people give it credit for, I would think. So most things in that picture there have now disappeared, including the people. That's a beautiful image, that, isn't it? Stunning. Wow. Yeah, it's beautiful, the decoration. So then Phoenician shells at the top. Yeah, it is. The Phoenician shells. Oh, right. Well, they're gone, aren't they? All of this is gone. Restaurant fire my ass. It's a different tower. Doesn't even look the same. Size doesn't look the same either. Yeah, that's stunning, that photo. Absolutely beautiful. And there's that photo I just showed you. Really uncanny that this statue spookily looks like a human being. The woman's face there is just uncanny, isn't it? It's just like, well, how is that even possible? Just maybe it's a giant. What else is going on? Everyone's got their top hats on. So this is the higher echelons, I guess. I'm not sure if Joe Average gets to go in the exposition. Maybe they got some security going on, and it's all a bit nice, maybe, or maybe not. Maybe just like the Olympic Games in London, a lot of people had to suffer for the building, be uprooted and relocated. This is a mudflood building. The size of this. The front door is that far, or the window is that far up in the air. Crazy. And they've dug it all out then, have they? Yeah, looks like. It's a really curious photograph. That building, phew. Old as the hills, isn't it? And spaghetti sky wires. Never get my head around why that is needed. So yeah, I definitely think it's got scientific observations equipment on here, weather maybe, and telegraphy for the telegraph antenna, and you got like a top restaurant at the top as well, like you get in BT Tower in London or the Euro Tower in Rotterdam, which was awesome. A restaurant and a gantry, but all of this gear. So I definitely think you could pull a balloon in here, dock people off, and directly drop them into Paris, especially with the Parisians or the French being such balloony people, with the Montpellier brothers, by all accounts. So celestial sphere with the zodiac on there, a lot of, I guess, in propaganda, brainwashing going on with all of these expositions. That is just a stunning image, isn't it, of the lion? So we'll talk about that a little bit more in the future, trying to decode the lion, maybe Phoenician lion. But there, that's a sterling photograph, that one. It looks like a comet there, doesn't it? But yeah, the gardens and everything are just so beautiful. Not like that anymore. This photograph, honestly, how high is it? But no roads under there just then, just parks and gardens. Look how beautiful this is. No exposure problem in the photographic process. Shadows seem to be where they're supposed to be. Everyone's got umbrellas because the sun is stinking hot. Load of chairs. Maybe a little bit of oompa, stick it up your jumper. Brass bands, who knows? Wow, look at that world though. Temporary, and it knocks most of it down. So they say. What a mystery. And that don't look high to me, like at all. I could throw a stone and hit that. Like no problem. So I don't even understand it. Wow, these photographs are beautiful. I'm sure you'll agree. So yeah, it was one of the biggest expositions. I've covered it for years now. This is the thing that stupid sacked AI, which I didn't even know why I bothered. I know not to, and I do my own research without that because it's a numpty. So apparently, metal burns. There's that restaurant. I knows absolutely nothing about. I got photographs of. Bubbled it unbelievably, busted it like you wouldn't believe. Keep doing that all the time. So yeah, fire, and the fire spread up this bit, and it landed here apparently, but it went up there as well, and it burned there. So it's burning there, it's burning there, and it's burning there. How could that be? This is an invaluable photograph, guys. AI that says it doesn't even exist. How can it all be on fire? Just like what you're getting with the Crystal Palace, metal and glass burning. That is a really, really juicy image. Very cluey. Oh, that could happen. I think it's maybe technology gone askew. And you can see this here, which has been highlighted. It's all gone. The Thlot Pickens. That looks smaller again, doesn't it? Sorry to go on about the size difference with these towers. It is very noticeable, isn't it? I'm not just like tripping out. I'm seeing that, like in some photographs, this gap here is really, really massive, big enough in the modern day to get like loads and loads of trucks and shit and parks and underneath it. And look at it back then, though. So beautiful. It's quite close to the river as well, isn't it? Right, let's move on. It's called the Tracario. This thing in the background. I've got no photographs of that being built. Wow, that is a special photograph there. It's halfway up. So yeah, it's quite a bit of evidence of the universal. Oh, sacred geometry included when you look up. How did they get that around? It's like literally what was it? 3D printed. What was it like? AI computerized schematics for it, because that's pretty precise. If that's what you see when you look up, that's unbelievably engineered and unbelievable mathematics. Did they actually know that they're going to be looking up and seeing that in the design? Possibly, because you would have had all different perspectives and views. But wow, does that not look like a really advanced technology? Whew. And the balloons definitely were hitching up. I've seen photographs of balloons coming up to, I think it's this gantry here, but not to the top. I haven't got any photographs of them going to the top. So looks like it's a bit of a misty, wet one there. Mildly moist. And there it is again, looking like it's in the tropics. Loads of palm trees, especially with Paris. Like, you don't, not really synonymous. It looks more like Italy, doesn't it? I been trying to dig out. I got a photograph of Moscow with a palm tree, which shouldn't really be there, but I have somewhere. So yeah, there it is. Let's have a look. So I'm guessing you got to paint it up now and again. So there's a big doorway there going underneath and a restaurant, etc. But yeah, the gap underneath is quite big. Oh, there's water there. Oh, okay. Never seen that before. So yeah, let's move on. So yeah, they say, okay, Finland, this was in the news this week, makes breakthrough in wireless electricity, power moving through air without cables. So on reading that, electricity without cables, my mind automatically jumped to, oh, right, well, they're bringing out free energy. But I don't think it actually is free energy. Okay, so there it is. Finland develops wireless electricity system where power moves freely through the air without cables. Okay, well, this system, as you can see, the churches were doing this, and the church machines and all of the antennas and the antiquitech were doing this in the past. So now they're revamping it. But they're not going to be free, I don't think. So electricity guided through the air using ultrasonic waves has been invented. Okay, so what would be the pluses? Okay, contactless electrical connections, powering devices without plugs. Smart interfaces based on electrical pathways drawn in air. Okay, this is not a replacement for power cables just yet. So they're saying it's a new revolution. Okay, but it's a revolution of how the electricity can be directed through physical conductors. So two, laser-based powerless wire, energy carried by light. So they're saying they're doing this. Okay, well, I would put it that they're doing it, or been doing it all along. Radio frequency, RF, wireless charging for sensors. So I've put it that they are going to charge and they're going to bring out free electric, and it's all. I think it's all going to be tied in with this credit system. I think it's going to be tied in with the identification bullshit that everyone's going to be forced to do, apparently. So yeah, smart city infrastructure. I think I nailed it, didn't I? Smart cities with cable-free infrastructure. They're going to bring street lights, cameras, sensors. They're going to bring free energy out, but it will not be free, but it will be wireless electricity. They're going to bring it out when it was there all along, after all of that time. And it's all part of the agenda. Were you aware of that? Now, it's quite big, isn't it? You know, the narrative in the past, of course, was that Tesla had free energy. And he said that he had the ability to tease incalculable amounts of wattage out of the ether. All you needed was a resonance. You teased it out with a specific frequency or resonance, which he managed to do using some sort of device. free energy wireless device. You see Samuel Clemens, who you may know as Mark Twain, author of Huckleberry Finn. I know you were shouting at me then, but he's looking at Tesla. He's mates with Tesla because young Tesla looks like Vlad the Impaler. I mean, he looks like Count Dracula. Okay, he's Eastern European. I can imagine that he's got like a really, really broad Bosnian or Serbian accent, because they do, don't they? But he dies in obscurity because, you know, this is the narrative. There he is, looking zero like the young Tesla, but this photograph of what looks like Skeletor out of He-Man, yeah, dies on his own in his hotel at 85. Celebrated inventor, born in Yugoslavia, an electrical wizard, dies at 85 in the New York hotel, the New Yorker, which apparently he owed him a few quid. So they made a death mask. Well, that proves he exists. But the weird thing is this death mask here that they made for Tesla, you see, 1856 to 1943, doesn't really look like the photograph. So what happened? Before he died, did he put on a few pounds? His cheeks fell out? Or were they just being kind? And he's got this pear-shaped head as well, and this chiseled chin, haven't he? No pear-shaped head, chiseled chin, or cheekbones all sucked in. So that is just unbelievable bullshit compared to the photograph. Doesn't take a genius to work out that that's not the same. Okay, so that's them. There he is. Apparently he's had some TV guy come to see him, and he's looking a little bit more like the earlier Tesla, but not really. Again, with this bone structure, looking like a skeleton. I could tell you, I was very famous man, had loads and loads of women. Do you want me to tell you about the women? No, tell me about your free energy experiments and your earthquake machine, please. I can't tell you about that. I could tell you that they stole all my equipment. So this is what they, Trump was actually connected with that. You probably know the story. Let me to recant about the Tesla stuff being pinched. So this is the Tesla Tower. I've seen one of these in Texas. It was amazing. So they must have it in use for it to be there in the first place. But it was a way to wirelessly power a battlefield. That includes planes, zeppelins, and everything on the field wirelessly, which is what they're going to be doing exactly like this. Now they're saying, we didn't have wireless electricity in the past, but now they're saying there's been a breakthrough and there's wireless electricity. It's part of this new rollout of the digital ID, the smart cities, the 15-minute cities. Don't go out, stay in. If you want to look at anything, go on fucking Google Earth and look at the pretty blue water on there. And they're making travel available as well for most people. And to live in Britain right now, if you are living in Britain, you're going to know what I'm about to say. Yeah, it is fallen. It's broken. I don't even know what's going to happen in one generation's time. The British people will no longer exist. And it breaks my heart. It literally hurts my soul. So here it is, and that's what they're going to be doing. This, in this picture here, is now a reality. They're admitting that they're doing it. And this is how I seen the past. I envision the past is these floating ships, wirelessly generated in the antiquitech machines, which are the ether gatherers, energy gatherers. And this electric train, as you know, in Germany, in Wiedelsburg, I think it is, probably going to get me on that. I think it's something like that, along that lines. Beautiful, beautiful city with the electric sky train. I think the electricity for this train and San Francisco's Market Street. I had a Market Street dream last night. I just broke my dream. I was going down Market Street and I said to someone, this is Market Street, San Francisco. So maybe I'm going to go there. Wow. Okay. Anyway, so yeah, I broke my dream then. It just came to me. So I think that these would have been really good. I think Tesla's on about floating tunnels under the Atlantic, but I definitely think if they put these on floating barrages or something, that they could literally drive something across the entire Atlantic Ocean. That would be fantastic. Wirelessly, but like I said, they're not going to do it free. And literally, these air balloons or air ships floating around above the cities would be fully powered by basically Tesla towers that are on tops of skyscrapers, which are in fact on tops of many skyscrapers in New York City and Chicago and other cities, aren't they? Yeah. And I've proposed that these were there. And that's why they vanilla white the skies out to hide what's really going on. So they were illuminating, the city of Paris using airships and massive lamps in the past that just float over the city, illuminating it all. That must have been a sight to behold. I would like to have seen that. Floating cities. There are many, many narratives. I think there's something in, I think that they've managed in the past for anti-grav technology. Gravity is just bullshit. It's electromagnetism, and the inertia plane can be inerted. Okay, the alignment can be inerted, and I think it can be done but through a vibration. And I think floating is as simple as that. If you can imagine a torsion field or a torus field like an apple that you can't see because of magnetic propagation is invisible, but around there, and the updraft or the up pull would lift it up, and the down pull, and you could control it. It's like the inertia dampening they told you about that they would be doing on the Starship Enterprise in the past, but air-based, if that makes any sense. So yeah, fuelless plane, they've already just said they're doing that. Electric motors run by radio power, they're going to be doing that. Radio-powered transmitters. Okay, Nikola Tesla's electric wizard foresees the day when airplanes will be operated and radio transmitted power supplied by ground stations, and shown in the drawing above. Guys, this is what they're doing. They're going to roll out free energy. Okay, all in with the digital ID, all in with the rest. They're all going to put it all together. Okay, it's a utter shit show. Patents that have been hidden. Have you noticed that these here, okay, look like devil horns, and they are very like demons walking towards you, but there are in fact some strange geometries going in there. So yeah, notice any difference? I've been proposing that for years, that these things, yeah, they're not doing what you think that they're doing. Harvesting. There he is, pulling the electric out of the air and pretending they're generating it. So yeah, he doesn't look like the younger one. He's getting on a bit there, at maybe 50s. He's not going grey, 40s maybe. So no video evidence of him existing. Very little, only just rumours or hearsay. And this museum that you can get in, go to visit in, I think it's Belgrade, or somewhere, Serbia maybe, that you can visit in the hometown where he come from. I spoke to a person who was a relative, if that makes any sense, of somebody who was a relative of somebody who's been to this museum, I think it was. But yeah, so all the Tesla tech. See this ball, yeah? Yeah, that floats in the air there on this pad. So maglev technology was definitely a thing. And his Tesla code 369, a goose drank wine, the monkey chewed tobacco on a street, Caroline, the line broke, the monkey got choked, and they all went together in a little row and both clap hands, stamp your feet, banging on a big bass drum. So yeah, he said that he got his inventions come to him downloaded in a vision that appeared to him in Budapest City Park. Mental images, yeah, and he drew them out quick in the sand. I believe that. I get a lot of sort of data the same way, and I just keep paper near to me. And this is what I've been proposing for years. I wrote a book about it, Holy Grail of Our Flat Earth, the Four Angels technologies, the Tesla motor, and this is just free energy motor, free energy flat earth motor, which is based on the same as the flat earth's electromagnetic technology, working on magnetic propulsion and attraction to push things around. No electricity is needed in that one. Westinghouse Electric and manufacturing Tesla polyphase system. I have worked with polyphase and three-phase in the past, and never died. Really amazing stuff, actually. I really like electricity. Now, in the past, they thought of electricity as Deus, as God, and it could be God. Electricity is pure, it's white, it'll kill you. It can power the entire world. It can do so many amazing things. What do we really know about it? It's biodirectional. You can tame it to some extent. And in this case, in the Faraday cage, you can see that he's not getting electrocuted. So there he is talking to this news reporter, thinking this was in the 1940s before he died. But yeah, definitely that death mask is not his. So there's a few posy photographs of him holding bits of his inventions, like you don't know what they are, but you don't see any of him in the lab. Just photographs of him talking a few tales. I remember in the good old days. I bet that was a bleeding boring monologue. High voltage, high frequency current being passed through the human body to bring a lamp into incandescence, and this is with Mark Twain. So that's exactly the same technology. So yeah, free energy, they're going to bring it out in its whole part. It won't be free, but they are going to admit that it exists, because I think that it's been there all along. Let me know what you think in comments about this, guys, okay? Because I definitely think this is, quite important, and I'm not seeing anyone else talking about it. So much love to you all. I will be back very soon. I have another video lined up before Flat Day this week and my new Antiques Roadshow, which is me going through Tartaria antiques on shorts. So check them out. They're really good. Okay, much love to you all. Stay epic. See you very soon.